IPS Officer Rashmi Shukla, who the state government recently cleared of charges of illegal phone tapping of politicians, is expected to be empanelled as the Director General as early as next week. That's according to a BJP minister. Shukla is an IPS officer of the 1988 batch. She is currently posted as Additional Director General of the Central Reserve Police Force in Hyderabad. She is the most senior IPS officer in the state after the current DG Hemant Nagrale. Now, my colleague Vinaya Deshpande is with us to bring us a lot more in terms of context when it comes to this story. Let's go over to her to understand more. Vinaya, if you could just explain the accusations that stood against Rashmi Shukla till earlier this year when it came to those allegations of phone tapping that were, I believe, found in a FIR lodged by the Mumbai police itself. Could you bring us more context?
Well, Toya, we have seen that there's been a long legal battle over this. In fact, Rashmi Shukla had also filed affidavits in the court of law, on the basis of the complaint that had been filed against her. Now, political sources indicate that that was a politically motivated case, and that is why, after thorough investigation, the cases against her are being closed. Also, after she has received a green signal, it's likely that she will be empanelled soon. Now, remember, after Hemant Nagrale, who retires on October 31st this year, she is the senior most IPS officer in the Maharashtra cadre. She retires sometime next month. And so clearly she is in the running for the post of the DGP or the CP, two of the topmost positions in the state as of now. Sources indicate that, after there was no evidence that was found against her, and after it is believed that that stipulated period of 6 months where the recordings are to be kept, the complaint was filed almost a year and a half later, which was way beyond the 6-month period that is mandated for the phone tapping. So as of now, political sources clearly indicate that the phone tapping case is completely out of the way for Rashmi Shukla, and not only will she be soon empanelled within a week or so, but also she might be in the running for the position of the DGP. Now, remember, the current DGP of Maharashtra, Rajni State, is also, in terms of experience and, the year in which he joined the IPS, a junior to Rashmi Shukla. So clearly, as of now, all eyes on what decision the Home Department takes. But clearly, Rashmi Shukla, who was the intelligence chief of Maharashtra at one point when this phone tapping case took place, and against whom cases were filed in the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi government for alleged illegal phone tapping.
Vinaya, if I could just request you to stay with us. We have Majeed Memon with us right now on the phone. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. Sir, let me just quickly summarize for our audiences so they also understand the context of having you on the phone with us. Sir, IPS Officer Rashmi Shukla, it seems just a few days away from being appointed the state DG. Sir, I want to understand from you here, one of the people she was accused of phone tapping was a NCP leader. How is the party reacting?
Well, this name Rashmi Shukla has become a very controversial name, and she has, being an IPS officer with quite a seniority, has fallen as a victim or is trapped between two governments, the MVA and the current government. MVA government considered her as a villain, whereas the current government under Shinde is, appreciating her and is rewarding her as a hero. You see, both are wrong, as a matter of fact. You see, an officer of IPS, who holds a very responsible position in the state as far as law and order is concerned, has to be judged by his or her performance, not by allegiance to a particular political set of people. And unfortunately, that is what is happening in Maharashtra. Only because MVA had alleged that she was indulging in some improper conduct or irregular or illegal activities, that the current government, as a vengeance, is trying to lift her up and garland her and give her all that is possible, which unfortunately also must be stopped.
But sir,
we don't approve.
Right, if we could just then zoom into what you're saying, because it does involve the NCP. I do want to understand, sir, the NCP, other parties, along with obviously the Mumbai police, had made allegations against her. Where does the party stand right now?
It is not the question of NCP. It is the question of a government which is in power.
Right. As you said,
now,
MVA.
This is not NCP or versus Shukla. This is Uddhav and Uddhav versus Shinde. This is not nothing like that. It's a war between Uddhav versus Shinde, which is purely political and has hardly anything to do with administration or hardly anything to do with the legal performance of judging the performance of an officer.
Okay. Sir, thank you so much for joining us this morning on CNN News 18. I'm going to go back to Vinaya Deshpande. She remains with us. Vinaya, are you still with us right now?
Yes, I can.
Vinaya, I want to understand from you. We just heard from Majeed Memon, and when we asked him to comment on this, and you might have heard the phone call, you might have heard him talk to us right now for the last few minutes, he seemed to refrain from actually commenting on the case itself, on Rashmi's case itself. Again and again, he was commenting on the politics around the situation. What is your analysis of that?
Well, Toya, we have seen that this is a case that has been hugely political, particularly after such a case was registered during the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi tenure, claiming that illegal phone tapping did take place under leadership, under the command of Rashmi Shukla, who was at that point the intelligence chief of the state. Now, what is interesting is Home Department sources tell us now that, the protocol that is followed for phone tapping, as per that, action has to be taken against the telecom officer, and Rashmi Shukla was not the telecom officer. Neither has she signed any papers with respect to the phone tapping that was ordered. Also, what is being claimed right now, Toya, is that there was an affidavit that was given at that time by the then Chief Secretary of the state. Home Department sources indicated that though that affidavit might likely have been filed under pressure, and that is why the Home Department sources indicate that
Vinaya,
there
one second. Just so that our audiences aren't lost here, if I could request, if you could just chronologically tell us exactly what we know took place, what we do have confirmation on taking place, and then what Shukla's role was supposed to be in the entire incident.
Well, Rashmi Shukla, who was an intelligence chief of the state, was accused by the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi of illegal phone tappings during the previous government, and that is why case was filed against her. An investigation had already begun against her. Now, that was considered to be a very high-profile case, considering that a senior IPS officer was in the dock. The MVA had alleged that she was close to a particular political dispensation, and through this allegation they said that it was politically motivated. Now, after the change of government and after a long protracted legal battle, we have seen that investigations against her have been cleared. In fact, Home Department sources indicate that there is after no evidence was found, cases against her are being closed, and that she will soon be empanelled back, because right now, remember, she is the ADG at CRPF in Hyderabad. So we are being told that within the next few days, as early as possibly the next week, she will be empanelled back. She will possibly be in the running for the DGP or the position of the CP, because remember, she is currently the second most senior IPS officer in the state after Hemant Nagrare, who retires in a few days, I believe, who retires on 31st October itself. She is to serve till 2023, and that is why she still has quite a few months in her hands as the serving IPS officer. So we right now, Home Department sources indicate to CNN News 18 that soon she will be empanelled, and most likely she will be in the offing for the position of the DGP